Welcome to Rick's Corner. There's a couple of subjects I want to talk about today that I've been thinking about, and what's your opinion? You know, sometimes you go to the gym and you work towards a pump and you don't get a pump. Now, I've mentioned this before in some of my shows, but I want to get a little deeper into it because I've been told that doing 20 to 30 reps pumps your muscle like mad. All right, I tried that. I didn't notice a whole lot at all. They said use a light weight, do 30 reps, another set 30 reps, and I don't think I noticed anything. If I drop down to about 7 or 8 reps with a heavier weight, I notice more of a pump. Now, a lot depends on how you eat, depends on your supplements, how much sleep you get, and if you superset it, if you don't superset it, depends on a lot of things. You know, when you work the same muscle every day the same way, not every day, but I mean every workout, it gets used to being worked a certain way and it doesn't respond like it did, and so you don't get a pump. Is it necessary to have a pump to grow? Nope, not really, but people think it is. They think the bigger that you pump your arm, the more it's going to grow, and so on and so on. Yes, you're pushing blood into the muscle and you're tearing down cells, but you can tear down cells without pumping as well, just using the muscle. Like a mechanic, for example. Mechanic years ago, not now, when in the older cars when they work on them by hand, turning wrenches and screwdrivers every day, they didn't get a pump, but you see the size of their forearms? They were huge because they were repetitious and using their hands and their arms every day with wrenches and screwdrivers and twisting and turning all these nuts and bolts in cars, and it really worked. I noticed every mechanic I had big arms, big forearms. It wasn't about a pump. But also when I was younger and I started training, I got a pump like instantly, right away. Now, I can't say I always had a pump on my back. I can't say I always had a pump on my chest, but I can say I also noticed it on my bicep and tricep for sure. And not so much on calves, but maybe on quads. Deltoids, depending on what I did. Now, I don't know about you, and I want to hear what you have to say, but I was talking to a man in the gym, this young guy, he's trained, he's got a great body, and I was saying, if you really want to get a good pump on your deltoids, start like we used to do with Arnold with the presses, and start with maybe 10, 15 pound pressing, and go all the way up to the 80s and all the way back down again. Your deltoids will pump like mad. It also depends on what you eat before you go to the gym. I also said that if you go to the gym on an empty stomach, you don't always pump because you got nothing to burn. There's no calories in there. There's no carbohydrates. There's no anything. It's like running your car on an empty tank of gas. So I always have my breakfast. I always have a pre-workout drink, and then I take L-Arginine because L-Arginine is a amino acid, but it dilates the blood vessels so that you get more blood into it. Now you're going to think this is really weird what I'm going to tell you next. You're going to laugh at me and you're going to make all kinds of jokes over this. But try taking a Viagra or a Cialis before you work out, half hour to an hour before. Now, it's not going to make you sexually active in the gym. It doesn't work that way. It's a vasodilator, and that's why they use it for sex, because it does put blood into a muscle that you're using. Your mind is in that form of wanting to do that. But it also puts blood into the muscle that you're using in the gym. I talked to my cardiologist about this. I said, what do you think? He said, I think you're right. You're working in the bicep, you're pumping blood into it. The vasodilator, being Viagra or Cialis, is opening those capillaries in your arms and those blood vessels, and it's letting the blood flow into it. This is the same thing that L-Arginine does. It has the same effect. L-Arginine can also be used for sex as well because it does the same thing. Of course, it's a lot cheaper than the others. Beet juice is another one. Beet juice also dilates the blood vessels and pushes blood into the muscle for a pump. It works very, very well. When you have injuries, it's very hard because you're working around injuries in your shoulders and your chest and your tris, and everybody who comes to me in the gym says, oh my God, my shoulders are killing me. Just the other day we were talking about that. Yeah, it's hard to work certain body parts when they're killing you, and your mind isn't thinking about the muscles, thinking about the pain, and you got to work through it. But supersetting chest, I used to superset incline presses with dips, and I would actually push-ups. I put my feet on a bench, I used 2 rods or 2 boxes, whatever I had available, and I would do push-ups in between sets. And my son would work out and we'd go back and forth. Boy, did I pump my chest on that. Pushing blood into the muscle, more and more and more. On back, if you can superset something with it, like pull-downs and pull-ins, you'll get a good pump. That's a big muscle. It takes a lot of blood to get into there, and it takes a lot of heavy weight. Don't go so heavy you're not doing the form right. I saw a guy doing seated pulls today and he was completely wrong. He wasn't getting a full movement at all. So I'd like to know what you guys do for a pump, how it works for you. What about sleep? Does sleep help you? I have a question about that too, as long as we're on the subject. I try to go to bed the same time every night, 11:30, 12 o'clock, and sleep till maybe 7:30 in the morning. I get up many times to go to the bathroom, I drink a lot of water, it wakes me up, and I go back to sleep. That's interrupted sleep, I realize, but I do fall back to sleep. This past week, this is going to be, I'd like to hear about this actually. This past week, I've slept really good, and every day I woke up, no pain, tons of energy. I went out one night, Friday night, I had dinner with my girl, and I had a dessert that somebody gave me, which is chocolate fudge brownie and some ice cream. And I probably ate maybe 3/4 of it. The next day, I woke up exhausted. I just felt horrible. A headache, my eyes were bloodshot, I did not feel good at all. And tell me if I'm wrong, or tell me what you think, because I want to hear about this. I think it was the sugar. I think the sugar is like a poison. I wasn't used to it for 2 weeks, and I think it really dragged me out. Now, the night before last, I slept great. I got up, I felt great yesterday. Felt great. Last night, we went to a movie, came home, had dinner. I got up this morning, and I hardly could work out. I went to the gym. I didn't even want to be there, but I did legs, and I'm still tired. And it's because it's the weekend, and I had a little chocolate mint ice cream. I think it's the sugar. That's the only thing I can tell, the only thing I know, unless you're just dehydrated from going to the bathroom all night. But these things are important. Even though I felt lousy and I went to the gym anyway, I still got a pump. So I'm trying to find out why it does and why it doesn't, but I know that diet helps a lot, and I know that this L-arginine helps a lot. And so this nitric oxide, these things you can take pre-workout, Super Pump from Gaspari used to work real well for me. But you got to have some carbs in the morning in order to get that pump. I think it's really important. I want to hear what you have to say about it. Anyway, I wanted to bring that up today. It was on my mind. I think it's a valuable piece of information for everybody because we want to do the best we can in the gym. And subconsciously, a pump makes you feel like you're growing. I have no doubts about that at all. Even though it isn't necessary, it is necessary mentally because it makes you feel better, right? All right, I'll see you guys next time on Rick's Corner. Let's hear what you got to say about this, because I also read every one of your comments, and I'll reply when I can, and everybody else will reply, because your information to me is just as valuable as my information to you, because maybe you know something I don't. I don't know everything. I know as much as I can, but I learn from you. So thanks again for watching Rick's Corner, and we'll see you next time. I just want to remind all of you, yes, you can still order the Gold's Gym logo, the one I designed in 1973 that was the largest selling t-shirt logo in the world. It's a piece of art history. I drew it, and now I can draw it for you on an 8x10 paper. I will autograph it to you and sign it, put your name on it. Each one is hand-drawn separately for you. They're not prints or reproductions. Each one is different because every time you draw something, it comes out a little bit different, but it's the Gold's Gym logo. And so if you would like to order it, you can get it off my website, rickdrasin.com, order it through PayPal. If you go to my website and scroll down, you'll see the order button. Go ahead and order. I'll make it out, and I'll send it right out to you. You can frame it, put it on your wall in your house, in your gym, or your garage, wherever you want. But it's a one of a kind, and it will go down in history as the largest logo in the world. Thank you. It's rickdrasin.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.